Page 38, who's on third? In this lesson, we cover an interval of a third. Now, in the last lesson, or in the page 36, I should say, they introduced you to an interval of a second. But in the lesson for that, I introduced you to all the intervals. I see no reason to wait. Just take all the intervals. Now, the idea they're doing is you can recognize the intervals in the music, in the written music, because a second is just the next line or space. It's right next to it. An interval of a second. Do we need to review all this junk already? Remember, an interval is the distance between any two notes, and a second you just count up. And then the note you're on is 1. We don't start with 0. So if I use these keys, and I'm on here, and I go up a second, of just 1, 2. That's it. It's the next note. In the music, it's the next note up in the next. In the music. Okay. A third is just 1, 2, 3. It's every other note. Those are thirds. In the music, if both notes are on the lines, or both notes are spaces, and that's how you can recognize them. Look at on who's on third. In the first measure, you got 2 C's and an E. Well, that's a third. And both of those, all those notes are on lines. And that's the idea with thirds, you recognize them. It helps when the music gets more complicated to be able to recognize these things. And when we get into building chords and more music theory, this helps. But I still say you just do any interval. I mean, you just count up. It doesn't matter what the interval is. You'll figure it out eventually. And I say count up rather than count down because there is a situation in intervals where the result is not the same. I mean, counting-wise, you can actually go either direction. But when you get into note names, you can't go either direction. You have to go up. And so I just have the habit of always going up on intervals. Now, let's look at this who's thingy and see what's going on here. I look it over, I see it's 2 lines long, treble and bass clef, 4/4 time signature. We're back to 4 beats in a measure. And I see a bunch of quarter notes and half notes. We can handle all that, I think. Looks like the right hand is playing the first line because the bottom staff is empty. And the left hand is playing the second line because the top staff is. See how I figured these out? Just amazing, aren't they? By now, you should know the names of these notes in the music. If not, I encourage you to go back to the first lesson on page 29 or whatever it was where I started and focus on learning the say it and play it. Just here on thirds, here is the C, C, E, D, D, F, E, E, G. Just drill yourself on these over and over and over until they become automatic. And I'm assuming you know the names of these keys on the piano, the ones we've used so far. We've only used 5 of them. We only have 2 more to go. But you need to know these, so you're not reading the stickers. If you have stickers on your keys, you don't need the stickers now on these 5 notes. Now, I like to take it just one hand at a time first to figure out what each hand is doing. But because it's only playing one hand at a time, I'm going to go ahead and take both hands together. The right hand plays the first line, you're here. And the second line, the little finger for the left hand is here. That puts you, you're in this position. We're still in C position. We're in this C position. And at the beginning, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get the idea. Do the same with it. You go through and do it. I don't really want to spoon feed you everything. I need you to take it and work on it and figure it out. Now, once I have that, and remember the counting, you're only counting long enough to figure out what the rhythm is. Once you know what the rhythm is, you don't count it anymore. You just feel the rhythm. Then I can add what's known as articulation. Articulation is how you express the note, sort of. Good luck. But my point is we have slurs. In the first line, or first measure, you have 2 notes slurred together, 2 notes slurred together. Well, look at the last measure of the first line. You have 2 notes slurred and 2 notes slurred. Remember what a slur does. It tells you to connect the notes within the slur. It doesn't tell you anything else. It doesn't have anything to do with what happens before it or after it. Some people will lift up before and after a slur. Look at the last measure in the first line. Here, lift up. They will lift up before and after a slur. The point is, you don't have to. We haven't got into phrases yet because that's a whole nother ball game. But if you read the words, when you get a question mark or an exclamation point or a comma or a period, some punctuation, generally with music you can lift up. Because if we're going to say it, there would be a little silence. There's sentences like, who's on third? Who's on third? Tell me, who's on third? So you can lift up between those if you want to. So here on the first measure, it's here, who's on third? Then lift up. Just lift. It's like taking a breath. Yeah? Lift up. Lift up. Just a little lift. The beat stays the same. It's not affected. You're just cutting one note a little bit short, so you got time to take a breath. That's part of articulation. It's part of interpretation. Articulation is part of interpretation. But these are things that normally you would learn much later, but I'm going to introduce them now. We just will start working on them now. If you've made it this far, congratulations. We'll keep going. And in the second line, look at the slurs in the second line. The first two measures are the same as the first line, but the last two measures, look at this. Who's on third? Lift up and then connect all that together. So the last two measures, the slurs, who's on third? That's interpretation. Technically, you could connect all those together. This is why you can get so many different people playing the same exact music and play it differently. It's interpretation. They interpret it differently. They feel it differently. I play by feel. There's a lot of feeling going on. And I generally will play something different every time I play it because I'm experimenting and I'm feeling it different. One time you might try lifting up for these, in the words, the sentences, lift up between the sentences. Another time you might try connecting it all. Just experiment. Now, once I have the articulation down, then I think about the dynamics. Remember, dynamics is louds and softs. At the beginning, they give you an MF. MF, remember, is mezzo forte. It's Italian. It means moderately loud, sort of loud. You have to decide what that is. I can't help you there. It depends on your situation. It's not loud, just sort of loud. About where I've been going, I think. Now, in the second line, they give you another MF. I disagree with that. I wish they wouldn't do that. You have the MF at the beginning. That applies from then on. So this whole piece is at MF. You don't need another one in the second line to tell you MF. They're doing it because it's a different staff and they're giving you a dynamic on each staff. But that's not how music notation works. I would prefer you learn the way music notation really works. And this ain't it. You only need the first MF, not the second one. I mean, the second one doesn't hurt anything. It just, you don't need it. It's misleading. A lot of music, you're not going to get it. You might think, well, I have the dynamic for the top staff, but they don't say anything for the bottom staff. What am I supposed to do? If it's the melody, you keep doing what you're doing. I'll talk a lot more about dynamics as we get a little more involved here. So you go through and learn this, and then go back through and get rid of any hesitation so it's a steady beat. And also you need to be able to play this without looking at the keyboard. You can feel where these notes are. You remember where your fingers are, and you just play them that way. When you're ready, then come back and let's play it together slowly and check to make sure you're playing the same note I'm playing when I play it. This way you know you have the right notes at the right times. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 3, 4.